Good morning, everybody. So I decided to come to you guys and share my experience with my new pregnancy because right now we are in very hard, trying times all across the world. And so it's going to be a very different experience than what I've ever experienced throughout my other 3 pregnancies. Now, I have been diagnosed with sickle cell, and I have been sharing my experiences with people all over the world for the last 3.5 years. And of course, I'm going to continue that journey. And I felt like this was important. As I share my journey with sickle cell, I feel like it's important to share everything else that goes along with it as well. Okay, so first, let me start by saying COVID-19 definitely has changed a lot of things for us. Okay, it has changed the way we live, it has changed the way we think, it has changed the way that we look at life in general. Definitely. So I'm still in my 6 to 8 week stage of pregnancy. When I found out that I was pregnant, it was at the time when they decided to quarantine everybody. And so during the time, I had called a couple of doctors, try to get an appointment, just to make sure that the pregnancy test was correct and that everything was okay, because in my past experiences, I have dealt with some difficult things during my pregnancy. And due to COVID-19, I still today, 3 weeks later, have not seen a doctor. And I still have about 2.5 weeks before I can, because COVID-19 patients, they definitely come first. Of course, we have to get this under control. So I kind of can understand why they are a priority right now. But I want to talk about my past pregnancies first. So my first one, it went pretty good. My son is now 14 years old. I had him at 36 weeks because I went through a lot of sickle cell complications, a lot of sickle cell crises during the time, and I had found myself taking a lot of different pain medications and things like that during the pregnancy. And I am not sure if it played a part in me having him early, but I had him at 36 weeks, and I had him vaginally, and everything went pretty good. I can't complain. Besides the pain, I can't complain. Now, my second pregnancy, which happened years down the line, 1 year later, it was about 2008. That pregnancy was really rough. I went through a lot. I was a single mom at the time, going through a lot of different pain crises, anxiety, depression, all kinds of things at the time. And I ended up going into a really horrible sickle cell crisis. I believe I had acute chest syndrome at the time, and I was in the hospital for about a week before I had to get an emergency C-section. Now, the emergency C-section didn't go so well because after waking up from the C-section, I found out that my son was hemorrhaging in his brain, and so he didn't make it. And so after that, I decided that no more C-sections unless it was an emergency, because I want to be able to know, what's going on with my child at all times. So when it came 2013, for me to have my third son, I had him vaginally as well, also at 36 weeks. With that pregnancy, it was difficult because I'm not sure at the time that I wasn't a huge water and cranberry juice drinker as I am now, but it caused me a lot of kidney infections. And so those infections brought on an early pregnancy delivery. So I ended up delivering him at 36 weeks as well. It was very, very painful. I think I was in labor for over 4 or 5 days just in pain, and I actually ended up pushing him out when I wasn't supposed to. And then, of course, that caused me some damage, but I was able to heal and get myself together after that. And now my son is 6, he'll be 7 this year, and he is doing very well, very well. My children have been through many crises with me, many. They stick by my side, they help me through it, and they try to be as understanding as they can. And even though that they're just children, I teach them everything that I can about sickle cell and just prepare them for their future, because of course they have the sickle cell trait, and we don't want them to have to go through the same thing with their children. So I oftentimes educate my children on the facts of what can happen if they date someone with sickle cell trait, or if they decide to have a family with someone with sickle cell trait or sickle cell disease. They're not guaranteed that they're going to have sickle cell, but there is a percentage. So we always want to be careful. We always want to be educated on that. Now, with this pregnancy, what scares me the most is COVID-19. Not being able to see the doctors often. Not being able to go to the clinic when I'm having any kinds of pains or when I'm concerned or if anything, because I recently had a miscarriage in 2018 towards the end of the year. And so I get scared when I have a pain or a cramp or something, and I just want to make sure that I'm okay. My sickle cell has been pretty dormant. It only comes every once in a blue moon. I really don't get sick like that anymore, and I believe it's because my positive thinking and my positive actions that I have taken, my choices that I have made to live healthier, to be healthier, to eat healthier, and my choice that I have made to get closer with God, because we all need to get close with Him. Now, even though I'm only still in my 6 to 8 week pregnancy, I know that it may get more difficult from here. It may not. But that is why I'm here today, because today is the first day that I share with you what it has made me feel like, and also what scares me the most about it. This morning sickness is pretty different than what I've experienced with my kids in the past. I wake up every single day unable to eat, unable to rest, nauseous. I oftentimes have to wait until late afternoon to try to put something on my stomach. So it's been pretty difficult for the start, but I've been handling it. I honestly wish that I could have seen a doctor already, because of my sickle cell, me being high risk automatically. I just want to be able to be monitored the whole way through. Will that happen? I don't know at this point, because we've been on quarantine for over 30 days now, or maybe a little less. But who's to say that it won't be another 30 days and then another 30 days? And how does that affect me and my child? So it just gives me a lot to think about. things that I don't want to have to think about, things that I don't have to be anxious about, but it's just the reality of the world that we're living in right now at this point. So I hope that you continue to follow me through my journey of sickle cell, because today is only part one of my documentary, and I plan to continue to share my story with you as I go through it for the next 7 to 8 months that I have left over. So thank you for listening, and I'll be back with you in a few weeks. Have a great day. Be blessed in all that you do.